Hey guys, welcome to the beginner's tutorial on building your very own home automation system using an Arduino board, Arduino IoT Cloud, and control everything with your mobile phone. Home automation is an exciting and innovative way to control various devices in your home, making your life easier and more convenient. In this step-by-step guide, we will guide you through the process of setting up and configuring an Arduino-based system that will allow you to monitor and control devices remotely using the power of the internet and your smartphone. So let's dive in and embark on this journey to create a smart and interconnected home of the future. So, in order to get started, the first thing you will need is an Arduino board with wireless connectivity. Here, for this project, I'll be using Arduino UNO R4 WiFi. Powered by Renesas RA4M1 32-bit Cortex M4 CPU, this latest iteration of Arduino UNO board has a lot of new features with wireless connectivity, USB Type-C connector, 5V operating voltage, and the backward compatibility with most of the older sensors and libraries. If you want to know more about it, check out our previous video where we explain everything about this new Arduino board. Then, we will need some resistors, some LEDs, MOSFETs, and some connecting wires. Then, we will need a breadboard to test the whole thing. Now, let's take a look at the circuit first. I will share the whole circuit with you in our Altium 365 workspace, from where you can access all our projects for free by downloading Altium trial from the link in the description. And guys, if you don't know what Altium PCB Designer is, Altium is a PCB designer that can be used to create simple PCBs for hobby projects or complex and multi-layer PCBs for industrial use. It's easy to create our own PCBs using Altium. If you're a DIY electronics enthusiast, you're gonna love it. Altium subscription includes something called Altium 365, which lets you design, share, and manufacture your project everything in one place. Secure centralized cloud storage lets you share your design and ideas with teammates or clients. You can download and install the free trial version from the description down below. And if you're a student, you get a 6-month full license absolutely free. So don't miss out this opportunity. Okay guys, now let's take a look at the circuit as well as the components. Here we have the Arduino, and here we have the MOSFETs, the 7805 voltage regulator, some LEDs, and some header pins. This is the header pin where we'll be connecting the voltage input. This voltage input can be a 9V battery or a 12V DC adapter. This voltage input will be connected to a 7805 voltage regulator, where this VIN will be converted to a steady 5V DC supply. This can be connected to multiple devices. And here, you should be able to see two MOSFETs configured as switch, and these MOSFETs are connected to pin 8 and pin 9 of Arduino. That means using pin 8 and pin 9 signals, we'll be able to turn on and off these MOSFETs. You can see two terminal blocks connected to each MOSFET where another device can be connected. So basically, when this MOSFET is turned on, this circuit will be completed and the device connected to this terminal block will be turned on. And also, right here, you will be able to see some more terminal blocks that are connected to pin 10, 11, 12, as well as 13 of Arduino. Here, you should be able to connect any device with operating voltage 5V. Also, if you want, you can connect a 5V relay at these points, and you can play around with AC devices as well. And also, these pins are connected to these indicator LEDs here. So whenever we turn on and off these pins, this LED will glow. And the best thing about this Arduino UNO board is its operating voltage is 5V. That means all the sensors that we could use with the previous version of this board can also be used with this board as well. So if you want to connect any external sensors or modules, you can use these header pins. Now, at this point, I would like to give you a small tip that could make your life a lot easier. Before adding the components to your circuit and designing the final project, it's always a good idea to have good knowledge of the components such as specifications, availability, as well as the price. For that, I would recommend this free site called Octopart. Octopart is an amazing electronic component search engine. You can use Octopart to get details such as distributor, pricing, as well as availability. You can also use Octopart to find components that meet your requirement. You can even purchase the components by clicking the link here itself. So this is the circuit. Once the circuit was finished and tested, I designed a compact PCB using Altium where I can fix all the components neatly. Here, you can see that the routing is on both sides of the board, which means it's a dual layer PCB. Altium PCB Designer's interactive routing techniques enable us to route tracks in PCBs more quickly than ever before. With Altium PCB Designer, You can easily make PCB designs using a user-friendly interface that smoothly guides you through every aspect of the electronics design process, starting from your initial idea all the way to the manufacturing stage. Now, all you have to do is export the Gerber file. I ordered my PCBs from PCBWay. PCBWay is a manufacturer specializing in PCB prototyping, low volume production, and neat and tidy PCB assembly. To order your PCBs from PCBWay, go to PCBWay website and fill in the basic board details in the instant order form. From there, you will be directed to a form where you can provide more elaborate board details. Update your board information in the PCB specification screen, and in the next screen, you should be able to upload your Gerber file and submit it for a review. Once the review is completed, all that is left to do is add to cart, make the payment, and wait for your PCBs to arrive. Once you get all the components and the PCBs, it's time for you to solder them together. Solder all the components onto the board and make sure to check the polarity of the components before soldering. After soldering, the PCB looks like this. Now, all you have to do is carefully insert your Arduino UNO board into the shield. And as you can see here, both of them will fit perfectly like this. And now, it's time for programming. Okay guys, now let's go to Arduino IoT Cloud and sign in with your username and password. So once you are logged in, under the things, you should be able to see all the projects that you have worked on that is currently linked with Arduino IoT Cloud here. So here you should be able to see Arduino Home Automation. So this is basically the thing that I have configured for this project. So simply click on that. And here we should be able to see all the properties that are related to this project. Here you can see we have 4 cloud variables: device 1, device 2, device 3, device 4. And also this project is associated to the Arduino UNO R4 board that we added earlier. So if you don't know how to program your Arduino board using Arduino IoT Cloud and control it from here using the browser, please do check out the video that I uploaded earlier. There I explained everything you need to know about programming Arduino board and controlling it using Arduino IoT Cloud. So watch that video first and come back to this video. Here, I have also configured the network details as well. So here you should be able to see 4 variables now: device 1, device 2, device 3, device 4. So the reason why I created 4 variables is to control 4 devices using these variables. But let me explain to you. Let's go to dashboard and Arduino Home Automation. And here you should be able to see 4 buttons now. So these 4 buttons are linked to the 4 variables that I showed you earlier. For example, if I click on this edit button and I click on this button and click on edit settings, you should be able to see which variable this button is linked to. Here, this button is linked to the device 1 variable. That means if I turn on this switch, the value of device 1 variable will be changed to true. Likewise, if I turn off this switch, the value of device 1 variable will be changed to false. Alright, so this is same for all these variables and switches. Now, go back to things, click on our thing, and let's take a look at the code. Click on the sketch, and if you take a look at the code, here we can see that these 4 variables have already been declared. So we don't have to declare it once again. Here, in the setup function, we are initializing the serial communication and we are setting the pin mode of 10, 11, 12 and 13 as output pins. So basically, these 4 pins are connected to 4 LEDs which are connected to the header pin as well. So we'll be using these 4 pins to control those devices that are connected to these pins. Once that is done, the Arduino board will be connected to the Wi-Fi network that we configured earlier. And here in the loop function, we can see that this function will be checking for any changes in the variables that we created earlier, that is device 1, device 2, device 3 and device 4. So if there is any change in the value of this variable device 1, then this function will be run. And if there is any change in the value of the variable device 2, then this function will be executed. So what exactly this function do is, if the value of device 1 is changed to true, then the value of the pin 10 will be changed to high. That means it will be turning on the LED that is connected to pin 10. And if not, if the value is false, then it will be turning off that pin and it will be turning off the LED. So this is same for all the 4 variables. Now, all you have to do is connect your Arduino board to your computer and upload this code to your board. And once the code is uploaded, check out the serial monitor and make sure this board is getting connected to Arduino IoT Cloud properly. And if it is getting connected, go to dashboard and open the dashboard that we created earlier. Now, try to turn on and off the switches one by one. You should be able to control all the 4 LEDs one by one using the dashboard in your Arduino IoT Cloud. You can do the same thing using your mobile phone as well. All you need to do is install the Arduino IoT Cloud application in your mobile phone, connect to your account and open the dashboard and try tapping on the buttons one by one. If you like this video, don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe to our channel for more awesome videos. So see you in the next video.